with your background in quality, you know, maybe you could speak a little bit about how regulatory and quality hold hands, and again, opportunities for maybe crossover talent. Because I've helped a few people that always had an interest in regulatory, but had, let's say, 5 to 8 years of quality experience get an opportunity. But over the last 8 years, I've seen a lot more situations where people had that interest and they couldn't even get an interview because they didn't have, you know, a regulatory background. They wouldn't even be considered. So maybe you could talk a little bit about how they hold hands and how there might be an opportunity uh, being missed there relevant to crossover talent.
Oh, that's a great area to get into, Darwin, because I found that there have been struggles for some members just getting their foot in the door in a different area for that very reason. They haven't ticked the box, or the right wording isn't in their resume, or they don't have any direct experience. Personally speaking, I have always tried to look for the skills. And one of my interview questions is always, what intangibles do you bring to this
Mm.
job? And everyone has their inherent traits where they do something great. And that can be leveraged down the road. It's just a matter of learning skills and learning the final detail. Um, for quality and regulatory, I think the skills are very similar. It's all about the background that you have, whether it's an engineering specialization or data analysis area. It's the attention to detail. It's how well you know how to document data and evidence you see or the outcomes, and it's reading through and making sure and risk assessment speaks to adequately speaks to the evidence that you're presented with.
Yeah.
And as far as the translation of quality into a regulatory role or a regulatory affairs member into a quality role, I think it's really a matter of, again, getting back to where you find your skills are best used and how well you do a job in an area. Personally, I got into quality because of my background from the military, and in looking at all the evidence and my attention to detail and looking at the numbers and making sure everything adds up. Uh, Prior to separating, I was reviewing all the details that junior specialists were completing repairs. I had to make sure that everything was copacetic and that they did everything they should have done before we put that aircraft and a pilot back up in the air to make sure nothing goes wrong. And same thing with devices. It's all about the data and evidence to make sure what we're presenting to a regulatory agency is an accurate reflection of the performance of the device.